to do the same. Right? So I do something called a top-down analysis, right?
Top-down analysis?
A top-down analysis. And it's like going online and like searching for stuff and going from like price highs to list. Mm-hmm. It's literally like the same thing. So you're gonna go to your time frames. Right?
Okay.
And I start at the biggest time frame. Well, I don't start at a monthly actually. I start at the weekly.
Okay.
Where every candlestick, or like when I say
1
candlestick, I mean each bar is gonna represent 1 week, right? So you're gonna see a lot of history, right? Mm-hmm. So let's see. Okay, so this is gonna be the start of the BRL in the foreign exchange market, which is in 1996. January 2nd of 1995, right, is when it started until today, right now, right? So the first thing I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go to where it says candlesticks, or I'm going to go to the candlestick mark, right? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I'm
Work on your.
I'm actually all set.
Yeah, he's full.
Yeah, please, thank you.
I'm gonna grab one more fry out of that.
Yeah, take as much as you want. No,
You want one
please,
more?
please,
Put in
please.
that
Yeah, there you go.
Chipotle
There you go. Oh, dude, that thing's killer.
Gotta
Right
go
here,
in the
right
Gotta
here,
go on
right
the
here,
Chipotle.
right
You gotta do it.
Do
Yo,
it.
Do it.
Sure, you don't want me to leave you if you want to.
Do it.
That was bam.
Yo, that Chipotle ranch is like.
Guys, I'm so full. I'm sick.
Yeah, I'm
So
literally stuffed.
what I do, guys, is I go from the candlesticks, and this is when I'm making my support and resistance lines. I change it from the candlesticks to the lines, to a line chart. And why do I do this? Because it's easier to see where the chart touches.
Touches, yeah.
Yeah, it's easier to see that. So now I'm gonna go to my horizontal lines, and I'm gonna make my my support and resistance. Now, what I don't for you guys to make it easier on yourselves, right? You're gonna change each color. So from the weekly is gonna be one color, the daily is gonna be one color, the 4 hour is gonna be one color. So this way you keep it organized, right? So my weekly support and resistance lines are gonna be one color, and for you guys it can be so you can just keep it organized. So for you guys it can be like whatever color you want, right? For me, I like to make it light blue. It doesn't really matter, again. So this is going to be places where, it's both a floor and a ceiling, right?
So you're basing it off of the most recent ones when you're doing this, correct?
No, not correct. So on the weekly, I'm doing the entire history of the currency.
Right. I see that.
So I'm looking for a floor and a ceiling all across the history.
Okay.
So and this is for the weekly because we're on the big time frame. We can see a
Right.
lot, right? So I would put a line like right here, because here it was a ceiling for a little bit, and then it was a floor, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna put another one.
Boom.
Yeah, I was gonna say like right here, right around here.
Yeah, because you have floors and then you got.
And then, oops. And then I can probably put another one right here, right? And then, so that looks good for the weekly. And you don't have too many lines because it's gonna confuse you, right?
Exactly.
All right, so now we move to the daily, right? So a little bit more clear. I'm gonna change my line this time, right? I'm gonna do orange. So again, let's do.
Oh, you changed your last line.
These guys.
Daily.
Yeah. So this is on the daily now, right? So we're gonna change the color.
Thank you.
And let's see. I can do right here. I can do right here.
Can't you minimize it so you can see everything?
Yeah. Well, it's on the daily, so
I see
it'll
what you
move
mean.
over. It'll move over. When I go back out to the weekly, it'll probably show. I can put one right here. So,
A little bit lower, right?
yeah, like
because
right
of
there.
that one. Or-
yeah. Well,
Well, because
basically,
you want these also to touch.
yeah. So you just want
Okay.
you just want a
It's testing
line.
it.
Yeah, you just want a line that you get the most touches on. But you see, the important thing here, guys, is that this is a resistance. So it's resisting
Yep.
here and supporting here, and then resisting here
Down
again.
there. Again,
Right.
it's repeating.
Yeah, it's repeat exactly. So that's good for the daily, and then we're gonna go out down to the 4 hour, right? And see what I'm doing. I'm doing a top down. I'm going from a high time frame to a lower to a little bit lower, right? And again, I
That's
see.
something I was doing before though. Like there's some other ones that got like 3 different color stuff.
Yeah,
going
and this
on.
way, it keeps. Yeah, like,
Already doing it.
Good.
Yeah,
Natural.
like I just started. Watch. Where's my charts?
I'm gonna put one right here. I'm gonna put one
It's one of these.
right here.
I got like different. Bloom.
And let's see. We'll put one right here. And again, this is the 4 hours, so I'm gonna keep it recent because the smaller time frame you go, you don't have to look too far back. But if you do look back, you'll probably see there will be more touches, right?
Right.
And then I'm gonna go down the last one. I'm gonna go down to.
Oh, that's the Head and Shoulders right there. Go back. Right there.
Yep, that would be. Yep. Actually, that's a big ass head and shoulders.
Yeah.
So
And I'll show you guys actually how to confirm that it's a head and shoulders.
this is a bullish Head and Shoulders.
Correct. So let me just mark up the lines. let me mark up the lines for the hour, and then I'll show you guys how to confirm this structure and how to validate it, right?
Okay.
Because there's certain features about a Head and Shoulders that make it valid,
Right.
right? Because not every Head and Shoulders is valid.
I was reading that
Yeah.
about one of my
Yeah,
little
before.
sheets here.
And then again, guys, the last time frame that I'm gonna mark up my lines for my support and resistance are gonna be on the hourly chart.
Oh, you're on 4 hours.
Well, that's actually good. Okay, so again, the last one I'm gonna go down to is the hour, because I don't want like too many lines. I don't want to confuse myself.
Yeah, I saw you on average. You were doing 3 lines per time
Yeah.
frame.
About like you don't again you
Yeah,
don't have too
of
many.
course.
And a lot of them you're probably gonna have marked up. So see, like on the hourly, like
It's still consistent.
yeah,
With the 4, yeah.
we're good. This I would say would be perfect. This is all the lines that I would need. Maybe I would just do like right here. Right
Because you got
here.
on both sides.
Yeah,
Yep.
see resistance, support, support, resistance, support. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see, and yeah, I would say that's probably it for me. I'm good with that for now, right? Again, as trades go on, price moves. I may or may not add more lines, maybe take some away, but I'd say we're good for now. Okay, so now that we have our floor and resistance, right, all set out, I trade on like the hourly chart, right? So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for like a trend, right? So for let's see, for the past couple months we had like a solid uptrend, right? Solid uptrend, nice pullback, but then we reached a plateau.
When did Bolsonaro get elected?
That's huge.
I think that was
Yeah, I
recently.
think it was
Yeah.
November. I think.
November.
No,
So-
it was not November's year. It was before.
Yeah.
It was,
So November we had
it
an
was
up.
after Trump. Yeah, it's like right now. And
Wasn't it last year?
No, it was in
last year.
2018.
It was December or
Yeah.
November. It was, like
It was
December,
one of
November,
those.
Yeah.
So, well, there was actually, it hit a plateau, and I pulled back, but look where it pulled back to, the previous low, right? Came back again, look where it came back to,
previous
high,
highs.
right? Previous high. And again, now we see price has been stagnant. It hasn't gotten higher than here, and it hasn't made any higher highs, but it also hasn't made any higher lows yet, right? So, but like you guys said, right, this is actually a Head and Shoulders pattern, okay? And a Head and Shoulders pattern is a reversal pattern, right? But I'm gonna tell you guys right now that I'm not too sure about this
Yeah.
pattern, okay? and I'm going to explain to you why in a second. So in a Head and Shoulders pattern, there's a couple features that make it valid, right? We have a couple of them. The first thing being that it's at a significant zone. And when I say that, I mean price hasn't been there in a while. So this is at a high. Price hasn't been here in a while. Price hasn't been this high in a very long time. So that's a good sign. For a reversal, we're looking for price to go down. So the second feature of a Head and Shoulders that makes it prominent, right, is the neckline.
Yep.
So I'm going to draw one for you so I can explain it. I'm going to draw it and then I'm going to explain it to you guys. I'm going to draw it in bright red so you can see it. So you draw it from one shoulder, which would be right here, to the next. And this signifies it should be a downward slope because you're looking for a lower low to further confirm that price is going to reverse and go down, right?
Okay.
So we see that, right? We see that. But the second thing, or the third thing rather, that you would be looking for is you would be looking for price. The second shoulder should never be higher than the first shoulder. So I would say like right here. So let's see where price was here. Let's see where the close was here.
It's like exact.
Yeah.
It's
So
like-
price was at
Just like
39,396, right?
396.
Yeah, 39,396. And then price again came to 39,398. Right.
Wow.
So
96, 98.
the second shoulder should always be lower because you're looking for a lower high. You're looking for, a lower high, right? You don't want to see price going up. You want to see price going down.
Consolidating, right? Or,
No, well, you would want to see the other shoulder be lower in price because you don't want to see. Right. So for me, I would be watching this trade carefully, right? Because you can see price did pull back. And I'm going to switch back to the candles actually so you can see it better. So I'm going to switch back to the candles. And again, well, there's that wick right there, but see that wick wasn't on the lines because that's not the closing price. The wick is not the closing price, so it's not like the orange. It's not like the true price, right? So price is probably I'm anticipating it to kind of consolidate, and then I would wait and see because price might go up again before it comes down, right? So I'm going to be watching to see what price does, especially
Might come to this line.
right. See, price respects zones. Price respects zones. Some pairs more than others. And as you guys, saw before, if I go back to the daily chart, price has never been higher. It hasn't reached a high in years. Right? So that's a good thing. I'm gonna see if price is gonna bounce around here a little bit before it goes down. So again, the whole thing with trading is that you have to be very picky about where you get in and out because where you get in could be the difference of $100, $1,000, or $10,000. If you get in too early, you can be taken out. It'll take out your whole trade, your whole account, and then you'll miss the trade. But if you were just patient and you waited for the right setup, you could have gotten in the move and caught all of that action, all that momentum. So what I'm going to be waiting for, guys, is I'm going to be waiting for a nice juicy move. I'm going to look to see what price does in this zone. Like Marissa said, I think price might come up here. And I'm going to look to see if it retests here. So I'm going to draw kind of like an arrow and show you guys what I think might happen with price. Okay.
I still think it's still going to go up though.
Yeah.
I think it's still going to test that line, the higher price there. It's still going to.
I agree. I think it might.
It's just gonna be a
So-
small pullback.
you wouldn't want to capture that?
I wouldn't yet because you're a little late. So I'm going to be looking for price to
Okay,
do
I see
like
what you mean.
I'm going to be looking for price to do
Like test that line.
one of these
Yeah, it's going to
and then
go through it.
go down.
Okay.
Right? Or I'm going to be looking for price to come back up here, right? Right, come break that level, right? Hold, test that line again, and then come back up and maybe touch here before it comes down. Right? So, but again, what I'm doing here is I'm just exploring possibilities because you want to trap price. Like, you don't want to have any surprises. This is part of your trading plan. You want to make sure that you have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. Right? Because if you let the market, be the boss, then you're gonna lose. But if you can think ahead of the market, then you're in the bag. And that's what we're trying to do here. So, and see these blue and yellow lines, right here. This is an indicator I like to use. These are called moving averages. And you can use different periods. For me, I use the 9 and the 18. The blue would be the 9, and the yellow would be the 18. Right? And I'm going to show you guys how to use this, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna put. Like, what's the difference between the distance, the 9 and 18? What does that actually?
They're periods of time, right? So basically, how to read these lines. Anytime the 9 is above the yellow, or anytime the blue is above the yellow, or the 9 is above the 18, signifies a buy. And the crosses, and let me highlight these for you. So the crosses should be like right here. Any crosses you see in the moving averages signify a reversal, right? So here you see it was buy, right? Signified. It got up here and right about here. See that nice wick? That downward candle? See how it crossed right there and then price reversed? Signified.
So.
An indicator is something that you use for extra confirmation in your trade. Right? I just so happen to like this one because it works really well. Again, see it cross right here? We saw a nice candle, price moved, and then as it widened, we got a nice buy.
Yeah.
Right? And look where it went. Went to the next zone. Look, across, signifies sell. Look, that went to I think the yellow was our daily. So we went to our daily level, bounced up, and look, it respected right here, and it's kind of delegating. So before it comes up here, it might test and come back down, or it might break this test and come back up. And then we might look for another retest up here before it comes down.
Right, so right now what you're looking for is the two EMAs to kind of, well, not just the EMAs, but you would use the EMA or the MAs to kind of dictate what you already projected here.
I'm just using it as extra confirmation.
Okay.
So I'm not solely trading based on that.
Right.
I'm just using it as like extra confirmation.
Okay.
So after I went through my checklist, I'm looking at price action. I'm looking at what price is doing. I'm looking at the zone it's at. I'm looking at where price has been. I'm looking at any potential structures like our head and shoulders. After all of this is taken into consideration, I'm still gonna wait because there's no clear trade here.
Right.
I don't know what's going on. This
But
is
it's most definitely gonna retest this over.
it might. See these wicks right here?
They're long wicks.
Yeah, this is indecision in the market.
Yeah.
So what could happen actually, guys, what could also happen is price could come back here.
And test it.
Right, price could, I'm gonna look for a break and retest, and then it might do one of these. Again, I don't know.
You don't know, yeah.
I don't know, I'm gonna wait until the market opens. I'm gonna wait and see what price does. I'm gonna let it work itself out, and then I'm gonna see what plan it follows into. And then depending on what the open candle looks like, I'm gonna go down to the 30 minute. I'm gonna look to be precise, right? So price came up to this level on the 30 minute and it failed to break. Came back down. I'm gonna look for it to come back up here. And if it fails to break again, I'm gonna look for a downward action.
Right.
But it could break, come back up, and shoot up. Again, I'm looking at what price is going to do. I'm like setting up a trap and I'm waiting for price to go into it. Right? It's all about being strategic. Learn how to smart the market, right? So the more avenues, like the more you can foresee what's gonna happen, the better it is for your trading. And again, people use different strategies. I'm a naked trader, obviously, like I don't use a lot. All different strategies you can use that we have in the academy that we teach you. Again, depending on your style, you might like to, take those small dips and make money off those. Personally, me, I'm looking for those big juicy runs, and I'll hold on to it for a while. Again, depends on your style, on your personality of trading. That's just how I trade. But you'll learn more in the academy. And again, you can verify with the harmonic scanner. If you see a potential trade, look on the harmonic scanner and see if the trade is there. If
Right.
the trade is there and you saw it, take it. Go for it. You've confirmed it, and the harmonic scanner confirmed it. Go for
Okay.
it. Take that trade. Right? Does that make sense, guys? You learn a little
That
bit?
does.
Why not?
Made a lot of sense.
Alright. So that's kind of me. That's how I trade. It's easy. It works on every chart.